Hey, welcome to Couples Academy Live. Today, what are we talking about?
We're talking about why we lie and how it affects our
Join
relationships.
us now.
Well, good morning. Good morning. This is
Morning.
Hassani,
And I'm
and
Danielle.
we are Couples Academy, and we are here for another morning to talk to you about information that should impact your relationship and your life. So, we've been in a conversation offline about lying and what lying does to a relationship and why so many people actually do it and what impact it has. And we thought it was worthy to do like a mini series on it because I tell you, one of the number one reasons why couples wind up in crisis and wind up in affairs and experience all type of betrayals and hurts and disappointments is because of lying.
Yeah, we're trying to avoid something when we're lying, right? So either we're trying to avoid getting caught or the idea or the pain of. Sometimes we're trying to deceive. There are so many reasons why we end up lying.
There are,
Yeah.
and one day we just happened to be watching the news, and wow, what a gem came on. We were watching CNN, and they were interviewing the founder of Netflix, and he was talking about a new book that he just released, and in there he begins to share the power of marriage counseling and what he discovered about himself in those sessions. So let's watch a quick clip and then get into a discussion.
I'd like to talk about women for a moment. I'm not sure if you read Kara Swisher's fascinating column this week, but she talked about the extraordinary wives and the women beside tech titans, right? Melinda Gates, Mackenzie Scott, formerly Bezos, Lorraine Powell Jobs. The part of your book that struck me the most was talking about going to marriage counseling, and not only how it saved your marriage, but how it shaped the rest of your life. I wonder if you could share that, and then also, what has your wife meant to the success of Netflix?
About 25 years ago, we were having difficulties. We had young kids at home, pretty typical, I think. And what the marriage counselor got me to see is that I was a systematic liar. And I would say things like, family's the most important, because it's kind of conventional to say that. And then I would stay at work at night, if some employee had an issue, and ignore my family. And so I was not acting in concert with what I was saying. And that in particular created, real integrity issues. The counselor helped me to see how much better it could be if I was really honest about the conflicts I felt between wanting to be a good spouse, a good partner, and a good CEO. And those are all hard to do, but I wasn't honest about that conflict. And then in my marriage, I became much more honest and candid, and that has helped us tremendously. We just celebrated our 29th wedding anniversary, so that's great. But also at work is the surprise. I really became a fan of exploring conflict and being able to say exactly what we were thinking in a professional way.
Right.
So I would say that marriage counselor turned out to be the best CEO coach I've ever had.
Wow, powerful, right? Like the term I've never even heard before was systematic lying, and I thought that was quite unique because many of us engage in lying whether we're conscious of it or not, and we're doing it automatically, systematically by remote control. It just becomes an extension of how we communicate for a number of different reasons, and it does have an impact on the marriage. One thing that was interesting at the very end, he said he took what he learned in his marriage and brought it into his work and began to explore conflict. And I think one of the reasons why people do lie is because they're trying to avoid conflict in their
Yeah,
relationships.
it's a defense mechanism, and I think that unless you are some kind of like, you're actually lying all the time to be deceptive and to destroy people and cause all kinds of issues in someone's life, you're lying for defenses, right? Something happened and you quit to the lie, and they call them like gray lies because I'm not just lying to be a liar. I'm not a pathological liar. I'm lying because I was in a situation and I needed to lie. God knows my heart, or they'll say, I just had to tell a little white lie. Do you know
That's
what I mean?
that's what we call situational ethics.
Yes,
The
exactly.
situation dictates that I show up this way in order to justify my reasons for doing what I do. And it's problematic because, your lies catch up with us. And I think a lot of times people don't really understand how destructive lies are. And we can justify and rationalize in our minds, oh, it's no big deal.
Yeah.
But when we truly understand what lying is, it kind of shifts how we approach it. And so we find in Proverbs, the 6th chapter, the 16th through the 19th verse, it says, there are 6 things that the Lord hates, 7 that are an abomination to him: haughty eyes, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood, a heart that devises wicked schemes, feet that make haste to run to evil, a false witness who breathes out lies, and one who sows discord among brothers. Wow. So that's a powerful scripture. That lets you know that God he has vitriol. He hates, despises lying, because for him it's wickedness.
Yes.
And so if we take on the same mentality and belief, it'll cause us to show up differently in a relationship. And that's why we say that God has to be the foundation, the crux, the core of your relationship, so that you're protected, operating in integrity within your relationship.
Wow. You want to say hi to some folks?
Oh, let's say hi to some folks. All right. Well, good morning, everyone. We see Angel. Good morning,
Hey, Angel.
Corliss. Good to see you, sis. We have Nijera Wilson. Nigeria. Stephen, good morning.
Hey.
Alicia, good to see you. Good morning, sis.
Hey.
Steph, good morning. Tyrone, everybody's chiming in. Heather, Hope. It's good to see you guys. And so what we want to do is let's get into some of the reasons why we lie. We've noticed that there is motive and intent for what we do, because why one person lies, it may be extremely different than why somebody else lies. So let's talk about this. Number one, we see people lie to make others feel better. Think about that.
Yeah.
I want to make you feel good. I'm not trying to hurt you, so I'm going to say what needs to be said.
Right.
It could be a simple lie, like, how was the meal? Oh, the meal was great. You're lying. The meal was not good, but I just want to make you feel better.
That's why you never do that. You're always saying things like, it tasted.
This is true.
How did that taste? It tasted.
It was,
It tasted.
I'm like,
you're not going to lie about it, are you?
Yep.
But no, but depending on your personality style, you will have an affinity to lie for one reason or another. And for some folks that don't like to offend, want to make others feel comfortable and accepted, they'll tell the white lie so that they don't offend you. But a lie is a lie.
A lie is a lie is a lie. Let's go to the next one. To make yourself feel better, right? So some people lie and deceive and omit certain information.
That's true.
To make themselves feel better. So it's less about trying to make you feel better.
Right.
I'm now focused on me and how it makes me feel.
Right, so you're telling stories about yourself and talking about amazing feats that you accomplished. That
The
you've never
exaggeration.
It's exaggeration.
Right? That's what that is.
Right? So you're saying I'm just exaggerating the truth a little bit, but you're straight up lying. And then think about how that affects your spouse who's watching you do these things. Exaggerating, telling lies, bigging things up. I saw you. Liar! No, but these are the things.
No, but that's how people respond when they see their
Yes.
spouse exaggerating. It's like, Joker, you know good and well.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
And you're sitting there on the judgment seat because you're watching them tell these lies and exaggerate. And you're like, why did you make it so much bigger than it was?
Right.
What? I mean, I'm
Keep
telling
it
you.
real.
And the biggest issue with that is that it really does keep the couple from having that real intimacy and transparency between them. Because if I call you on it and you're in denial with me, well, then where can I go with that? I can't even get you to be honest with me. I sure can't get you to be honest with the public.
Right. So you're bragging about, this tropical island that you went on a vacation to, and it wound up being Coney Island. Like, tell the truth.
Right.
Keep it real. All right, let's go to the next one. To make yourself look better. So the second one was to make yourself feel better, and the next one is to make yourself look better. So it's kind of similar.
Yeah.
Feelings and the way you're perceived, because we want people... Think about Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and all forms of social media. We project images of ourselves that may not be consistent with the reality. That's why we'll take 20 pictures and say, nope, not doing that. Nope, lighting's not right. No, I got to get the right angle, because it has to present a certain type of way.
Absolutely.
So not only do we do that with like, what do we call selfies, but we do that with life experiences.
Sure.
They say that a picture, you ever heard the term picture perfect? Well, yeah, it's picture perfect, but your life is not perfect. Your relationship is not perfect. So we want to give a certain impression so that people think that things are much better than the way that they are. So the form of lying. Let's go to the next one. To get yourself out of trouble. Now, that's a powerful one because a lot of times people lie. Why do they lie? Because they're trying to avoid the consequences of what may happen if the truth comes out. Now, interesting, folks, if you go to the Hassani Pettiford Infidelity Recovery Specialist YouTube channel, I did a video called The Real Reasons Cheaters Don't Want to Talk About the Affair. And in there, we talk about all the reasons why people do lie. And that's one of them, to avoid consequences, to avoid trouble, to avoid pain. And if you feel like your relationship is threatened, you will lie and do whatever you have to do to hold on to what it is that you want.
Until you realize how destructive the lie is.
Exactly.
Because for many people, they'll say that I could have handled the truth.
Yeah.
But you didn't even, you couldn't even honor me enough to be honest. Right? I could have accepted what happened and said you made a mistake. Okay, but the fact that you kept lying about it is like heaping coal on top of the problem.
And that's true because a lot of people said as destructive and as painful as what you did actually was, what hurt even more is the fact that you kept the truth from me.
Yeah.
So not only have you told a lie, you're now living a lie.
Right.
And then it gives the person the indication that you're no different today than who you were and how you were when you were involved in that behavior because you're still lying about it. Because guess what? You're protecting your image. You're protecting the way that you are perceived, which goes back to I lied to make myself look good. So this is really deep. Then we have people lie to advance an agenda. A lot of times we may see that on your job. You'll lie to make your way up the corporate ladder.
Yes.
You'll lie and
I
cut deals and backhanded, all types of things.
Somebody's always trying to cut your throat behind your back. Yes.
Yeah. And so when couples are in competition with one another, they'll do the same thing to advance within their relationship, to be promoted within the relationship, to be on top, to have the edge. And that whole competitive spirit and nature that couples have is so whack. And we lie to each other. So, for instance, if we have two different jobs making two different salaries, we're lying about, we'll lie to make ourselves look better and more powerful than our partner when we're not realizing that we're on the same team. I don't have to compete with you. Like, we all working towards the same effort should be, but that's how it shows up.
We should be celebrating the wins together.
Exactly.
I shouldn't be hiding my wins, which is what a lot of couples do. They get a bonus, don't nobody know about it, because guess what? That's my money. That's my bonus. Listen, it could sure enough be your money, but I still want to tell you about it.
Straight
up. I want to say, hey, listen, celebrate with me what happened. This is what happened. I got this bonus, That's the level of intimacy that you want. It's really sad to see so many couples that cannot just be transparent about the things that's going on in their lives, and they resort to lying because one of them just can't handle the truth too. Right? What does that mean? If I tell you the truth, then the consequences are, and people can write a list of the consequences, and so they resort to lying. And that doesn't make it right. That means that there's an issue in the relationship that needs management, not that we should resort to lying.
Absolutely. And the last reason that people lie is for personal gain, which can be money, power, etc. And we see that people certainly do those type of things in life and relationships.
Here's the thing, that article or that news clip that you played, what I thought was interesting is he talked about systematic lying. And to me, that speaks to lying that you're not even conscious of. And this is a conflict that I see happen with couples all the time, is that I'm telling you what you're saying isn't true because I have seen the patterns, right? Like the pattern is telling me that, yes, you're saying that you're going to do this, or you're saying you're not going to do that, but you're going to do it again, though you're trying to convince me of something else. And that's what he was saying. Like, he's saying family's the best thing. Family's the main thing. But yet you spend zero time with the family. You're lying.
Right.
That systematic lying is something that I don't think a lot of people who do it are aware of. It actually does take somebody to help you look at yourself and examine your actions in comparison to what you're saying so that you come to your own revelation,
Absolutely. And if you're engaged in systematic lying, it's time to change your habit and create a new pattern to have a new dynamic in the relationship. Because here's the reality. Some of us lie and we tell the quote, as you say, and I hate that term, the little white lies, as if
I just told a little white lie.
Right. So somehow it's a better lie. Right. It's not as bad. It's not as harmful. But the reality is, if you tell a whole bunch of little lies, then what you're doing is you're forming a habit, right? And we're creatures of habit. It's easier to tell the big lie because you spent most of your time telling these little bitty lies. And then that's when the justification, the rationalization, that's the mental or the moral slippery slope that takes place. And so now you've deceived yourself. And so now you can justify why you do everything you do. And a lot of times we lie for one reason, self-preservation. But we don't realize that that self-preservation ultimately leads to the self-destruction of ourselves and of our marriages. Listen, Yvonne has something to say. She said that this message, us so profound.
It's so profound.
Oh, it's so profound. Okay. I had to end a 3-year relationship a few days ago over the lies. Although they were very small lies, it was stupid. I just can't. I am comfortable seated in my decision. Lying can tear up and destroy a relationship. It's just not worth it. And we see how, for instance, betrayal is a major lie. And then I think we've shared this before. Like, if you have been caught in a lie, you have to be so intentional and overextend yourself to be completely honest. And you can't lie about anything.
No.
Anything, because any ridiculous, small, superficial lie is seen as another major betrayal, and it's just not worth it. I remember you talking about how everybody has their breaking point, and you never know what it's going to be or when it's going to be. And so something as simple as lying about, I don't know, did you eat? Yeah, I ate. Was it good? Yeah, it was good.
And why?
Did you have a second serving? No, I didn't have a second serving.
Right.
Now you can see clearly that the food is gone.
Right.
Somebody ate a second plate,
Right.
but because you lied about it, which was so stupid,
Yeah.
I can't trust you. It's over. It's done. That's the straw that broke the camel's back.
Yeah, it makes me think about folks who just have issues with conflict resolution. So if you do not know how to resolve conflict, you could just have a knee-jerk reaction to just tell a lie to get the person to leave you alone. Like, you are assuming what the person is going to ask you or why they're asking you, so you respond with a lie to shut them down. Like, did you eat today? Yeah, I ate. Maybe they're thinking, I don't want you to feed me any of your food, or I don't, you know what I mean? Like, the fact is that we do deal with conflict by avoiding sometimes when we don't know how to handle it healthily. And so we have to find those ways to deal with the conflict so that we don't have to resort to the lies. And these little white lies, they entangle us, right? Because it's one thing if you're lying to avoid a problem. You're in crisis and you avoid a problem. But when you have this habit of lying, these lies entangle you. They wrap themselves around your feet. And next thing you know, you're tripping over a lie. All these little lies become the big lie. And that's why this sister could say, you know what, 3 years I've been dealing with all these dumb lies. I've had enough. When a woman's fed up, there ain't nothing you can do about it. And we all, not just women, but we all have a breaking point. You don't know when the breaking point's going to be. You really don't. It's almost like you have a certain level of stamina to overcome certain things for the longest time until one day it hits you. This is never going to change. And then you break. We want to avoid that.
Yeah, Corliss even says, I'm guilty. I have lied to avoid conflict over money that I received and how to spend it. Yeah. And see, and that's a problem.
That's
like the
another thing,
fact that
finances.
you lied to your spouse speaks to a larger issue. It speaks to, like, we're going to get into this. This is just day one. We're going to unpack this because we have some powerful, powerful things, because we have to go sometimes 5 layers deep into something. It's easy to say, yes, lying is wrong, lying is bad, we know it. But when you get into the psychology of why we do what we do, it really changes things. And so we were talking about how God detests lies. And one of the reasons why he detests lies is simply this. The devil is a liar. John 8:44 says, you belong to your father, the devil, and you want to carry out your father's desires. He was a murderer from the beginning, not holding to the truth, for there is no truth in him. And when he lies, he speaks his native language.
Wow.
For he is a liar and the father of lies. That's powerful. A native language. For some people, it's become like a dialect. It's become their native tongue.
Right.
They've done it so well, so often, they can't even form their lips to tell the truth. They don't even know how to do it.
That's all they do is lie.
And so we're going to talk about why are you lying to your spouse, how your spouse may contribute to that lie that you're telling. We're going to talk about the web of deception and the different types of lies that we tell ourselves, because some of us tell different types of lies. Really quickly, some of you just flat out lie. but some of you omit the truth. And so there's a difference, and you can justify, well, I really didn't lie. I just didn't tell all of it. And so for whatever reason, we're doing these things, but it gives a false impression to our spouse. And what happens is, even when you're not caught in your lie, it creates a disconnect.
Yeah.
There's a wedge. It impacts the ability to have intimacy in your relationship, because you know in your subconscious mind there's something that your spouse doesn't know that you haven't told. So these are the things that we really need to break down in order for you to have breakthrough in your relationships.
And you know what? Some folks on here can say, you know what, I'm a liar, and I wasn't always like that. Like, you can actually find yourself becoming more and more comfortable lying the more you do it. There might have been a time when you were telling small lies, and now you're just the master manipulator and the master of lies. And this lesson is going to help you to actually become aware of yourself so that you can make changes.
And it's a part of the human condition. So for anyone who says, even those who are faith-based or religious or whatever the case may be, oh, I'm not a liar. That's not what I do. I don't believe in that. I don't stand for that. Guess what? If you dig deep enough, you're going to realize, I have participated in lies, and either I'm lying to other people, or guess what? I'm lying to myself. There are the lies that we tell ourselves as well. And so deception is happening all over the place. And so, guys, I want you to know that we're going to unpack this thing in such an amazing way to give you what you need. You're listening to Couples Academy Live. We'll be right back after a quick break.
Prior to counseling with Couples Academy, I filed for divorce. I didn't believe in marriage, much less any relationship. I didn't want one. I hit my lowest low. I wouldn't go to work for a while. It was just a really tough time, and I realized there's a lot of things that I didn't know about marriage because it doesn't come with the book. So we were given a lot of tools that we can work with, things that I didn't know that we were supposed to know, because no one actually tells you this. You just think you love somebody and you get married and that's enough. And boy, were we wrong. We're a lot happier now, and now I feel like we have a foundation which is strong, and it's not only just friendship and love. It's something much deeper and much stronger. It's just the different type of things that you just need to know in a marriage. And I'm happy. I'm very happy, and I'm just thankful, because if it wasn't for the counseling at Couples Academy, we would not be together, and my kids wouldn't have a father, and I'm pregnant, and so again, so it worked out. It worked out, and I'm very thankful.
Yeah.
Not all counselors are made equally.
So, and I was going to say too, the brother's fair. Like, everybody think, he's going to take one side, you think, no, he's fair. And I had to respect that. I didn't even want to do counseling, and most men don't, but I wanted my family, so I was willing to do what it took, and I'm glad she chose my man here, Sonny. So come with an open mind and be honest, and it'll work.
Amen.
That's how it worked for us, and I'm glad. So yeah. Go ahead.
guys, I hope that you're getting something out of this topic. We have a couple comments. Is lying and leaving out info the same? Actually, it is. When we talk about the web of deception, we're going to talk about how lying has many cousins and it rears its ugly head in so many different ways. Because at the end of the day, you're leaving a false impression. So if I have to share a story and I've only given you 40% of it because the other 60% would be damaging, then yes, that is a form of lying. And these are the things that we actually, use as a justification for why we do what we do. And that's why we want to talk about the anatomy of a lie so you know when it shows up. Yvonne says lies of omission. That's exactly what it is. It still carries the same detrimental weight. That's so powerful. Kira says, okay, Hassani, I see you with that background music. All right, so, we trying to, do it right and be relevant and stuff like that. So we hope that you're enjoying it. We also, Steph says, let's go. I love your ministry. Well, we love that you love it, and we're glad that you guys are a part of it every single morning. Angela, good morning. Listen, guys. Every single morning around 9:30, we are here to give you what you want. I hope that today was helpful. We want to give you information and content that will really help to change and transform your life. There's so many things that we have coming up. Once again, we have next Saturday. It is our 4-hour masterclass. Now, we've been talking about this for a couple weeks, and the registration link is in the description of this video. You have to attend the More Than Words, The Secret to Breakthrough Communication for Couples Masterclass. It is 4 hours. It's like a mini deep dive intensive. It is only $197. Now, for those of you who do sessions with us, you know that that's the cost of a session. But to have a 4-hour masterclass where we're going to not only unpack what it takes to have a healthy relationship where communication is at the forefront, but we're going to walk you through exercises. It's going to be very experiential. It's going to be exactly what you need. So sign up today, secure your spot, make sure your spouse is there. If for any reason only you can attend, it will be recorded, okay? So it's something that you can continue to watch again and again and again to edify your life and to transform your relationship. So guys, we love you. We hope you got something out of today, and we will see you on tomorrow. Take care.
Can't bring us down, can't nothing bring us down. Our love is too high, bring us down, can't nothing bring us down. Bring us down, can't nothing bring us down. Our love is